Welcome back, friends. This is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi, and in today's video, we're going to talk about brain fog, and most importantly, how you can have greater clarity of thinking, improved memory, and a really sharp and healthy brain as you age. And this is a really big problem. I looked at the statistics in prep for this video. There are over 40 million Americans in the US that report regularly having brain fog. And so what I want to do in today's video is create a very extensive breakdown of the scientific causes of brain fog so you can understand your body more and what breaks down and what problems happen in the brain. And also, probably more importantly, some of the solutions and lifestyle interventions that we recommend inside our Fit Father and Fit Mother programs that you can apply today to obviously get rid of brain fog, but just to have sharper clarity of thinking all the time, which is so important for quality of life. So let's get into it. When it comes to root causes of brain fog, the first thing that we know from the research is that neuroinflammation is at the root of it. And basically, anytime we have any kind of injury or infection, we have an inflammatory response. The problem is with unhealthy modern lifestyles, we have inflammation in a chronic state all the time. We're eating high sugar diets, we're very stressed, we're not exercising enough. And what this does is cause systemic inflammation. And the brain, although it's a small organ, is our most metabolically demanding organ. So when we have inflammation in the brain, ultimately what happens is those neurons that lead to our thinking and our clarity and sharpness of mind, they get damaged, they get inflamed all the time. And that leads to the experience of brain fog. And this is a nice pause point to kind of differentiate between brain fog, which is a transient decrease in clarity of thinking, from dementia or Alzheimer's, which is a long-term structural damage that comes from the kinds of things we're going to talk about today, like neuroinflammation. So when we get into neuroinflammation, what the research is really interesting in showing is that actually your digestive health and your gut function is one of the main causes of neuroinflammation. Today, we've seen that so many people are having GI issues from unhealthy foods, particularly eating things like non-organic wheat, too much gluten, high sugar, non-organic foods full of pesticides. When we damage the gut lining, we get this thing called leaky gut, where basically the digestive tract that should normally be well sealed up becomes leaky and permeable, and then stuff gets into the bloodstream that shouldn't normally be there, and the immune system reacts. This is the basis of this giant explosion of autoimmune diseases that we have. And it's not surprising that one of the main symptoms of people experiencing autoimmune diseases is brain fog. Because when we have systemic inflammation, it naturally affects the brain in a tremendous way. This is why digestive health is key for getting rid of brain fog. And there's a good chance that you are eating some foods in your diet right now that are causing you some degrees of inflammation. I hear the stories all the time of people who join our Fit Father and Fit Mother programs. When they decrease the amount of wheat they're intaking, when they decrease the amount of sugar, maybe they decide to cut back on some of the dairy, they typically feel a lot more clarity of thinking. And that's not to say those foods are necessarily bad for you, but you do need to find out the foods that are not good for you. For me personally, I know that wheat and dairy are not great for me, so I don't have them because they cause me to have brain fog. Now, it's not just the foods in the gut-brain axis, it's also infections as well. When we've all been sick, let's say you had the flu or a different kind of virus that has been going around in the last few years, you know that some of the main symptoms are low energy and actually brain fog. And this is because when the body has this systemic inflammatory response, it's really just kind of like robbing energy from the brain to be able to handle and fight the infections. And this is a big problem. So people who have long haul different kinds of viral symptoms often have brain fog. So anything we can do to support the immune system, which we're going to talk about a ton in the solutions, is going to help improve brain fog. So neuroinflammation and chronic inflammation generally is the basis of brain fog. And all of our solutions are going to work on that. The second thing is neurotransmitter imbalance. So we have these nerves that make up the structure of the brain, and they allow our nerve cells, these are the cells of the brain that allow for electrical communication. They use neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, glutamate, acetylcholine. These are things that allow our brain and our nerve cells to actually communicate. And the problem with modern lifestyle is it is an all-out, full-on assault on the health of our neurotransmitters. In fact, these little devices that you may even be watching this video on, your phone, is really just taxing your dopamine system constantly because we're always getting these buzz notifications. We're looking at things, and you know that kind of feeling after you've been like binge scrolling or looking at something for a long time. You feel like kind of like zoned out, a little wonky, or you always feel like you're craving the next kind of thing. That is a depletion of your neurotransmitters from modern lifestyle. that leads to brain fog. Like if you have kids at your household, you know that like after they've been watching TV for long stretches of time or playing lots of video games or just not sleeping enough or living unhealthy lives, you know their mood is not the same. Their clarity of thinking is not the same. So neurotransmitter protection, which we're going to talk about for sure throughout the rest of this video, is key for helping offset brain fog. And when it comes to neurotransmitters, a lot of common medications that people take, anti-anxiety meds, anti-depression meds, antihistamines for allergies, all of these can have impacts on neurotransmitters as well. So if you are taking pharmaceutical medications, prescription medications, there is a chance that it could be contributing to brain fog. This is a common side effect of many medications. Also, neurotransmitters are impacted by our hormone health. And it's not surprising that women are, like, I think 50% more likely to experience brain fog than men, particularly in the 4th, 5th, and 6th decades of life. This is because when menopausal changes are happening, there's huge changes to hormones, particularly estrogen levels are dropping. This can lead to major fluctuations in your neurotransmitter levels, which again can lead to brain fog. So hormones are a really big issue. And for guys, often guys over 40 who we help support with the Father Project, when testosterone levels go down, that can impact neurotransmitter levels as well. So hormones are really important as well. Third factor is straight up energy insufficiency. And this can be due to poor diet, like you're not getting enough good quality nutrients in. And I'm not just talking about calories, we have an abundance of calories, I'm talking about micronutrients. We're gonna zone into some specific ones later in this video, like the B vitamins, magnesium, creatine monohydrate. All these things help increase energy and ATP in the brain. And quite frankly, we have a diet today in the modern lifestyle where it's so rich in calories, but so devoid in the micronutrition that leads to brain health. And literally, some of our brains are just starved for energy. And one of the mechanisms I'm going to talk about in just a second when we actually miss sleep is the brain does not have enough energy and then we have this kind of foggy experience. So optimizing nutrition is going to be one of the best ways for you to have less brain fog. So we're going to get into that deeply in just a moment. Next thing is metabolic toxicity. So as I mentioned, the brain is a super active metabolic organ. Although it only weighs like, 5-6 pounds, it really consumes up to 20% of our energy every single day through thinking processes. And guess what happens? Just like when we're in our homes and we're in the kitchen and we're cooking, we're cleaning, we build up garbage. Cells do the same thing, let alone your very active neurons and brain cells. They're building up metabolic garbage. And guess when we actually take out this metabolic garbage? During sleep. Sleep is the time when our brain literally cleans itself. We have a system in the brain called the glymphatic system, which basically removes the metabolic debris from a very active day. And so when we miss sleep, the brain actually builds up this toxicity, this metabolic debris that doesn't get cleaned out through the glymphatic system at night. And so we have brain fog the next day. I know you've experienced this, like you had a night of low sleep and you feel like you had no concentration, no willpower, you couldn't think of anything the next day. That is how sleep is tied to brain fog. This is also why being overweight is one of the biggest problems with brain fog too, because being overweight is one of the fastest ways to wreck your sleep. Directly through sleep apnea, so maybe you get so big in your body mass that you're not sleeping well, you're waking up at night because you're not getting enough oxygen. That is going to destroy your brain health, destroy the amount of oxygen and energy you're getting. So like losing weight and having good nutrition, those things obviously pair hand in hand. Is going to be one of the fastest ways to improve your energy and your brain fog. And here's the cool thing. What we see with our thousands of people who join our Fit Father and Fit Mother programs is even before their bodies dramatically change, when they start living healthier, like they might only lose just a couple pounds in their first week, they tend to feel phenomenally better when they reduce the inflammation, eat healthier foods, and the brain fog is one of the first things that often clears up before the body gets ripped, if you will. So you can really improve this quickly with the proper lifestyle. And then finally, blood sugar dysfunction, which kind of pairs in with all of this. Our modern lifestyle is wrecking our blood sugar control. And this is for us as parents, it's also for our kids. We have an epidemic of prediabetes, of diabetes. We're eating sugar all the time. And what happens basically is sugar, when it floats in the bloodstream for a long time, and then that high sugar blood gets into the brain, it is directly toxic for nerve cells. This is why so many people feel phenomenal when they get off high carb, high sugar diets and they go to lower carbohydrate diets like keto diets and stuff like this. The fact is, you don't have to be on a super low carb diet. In fact, our plans and our approach is more of a lower carb, moderate approach. But the fact is, when you do drop your sugar intake and you get off all the processed sugars, you are going to have better glucose control, your immune system is not going to be as stimulated, and your brain fog is going to decrease. If you're a coffee lover, you know that not all coffee is created equal. Most coffee today is loaded with pesticides, mycotoxins, and heavy metals, things you definitely don't want in your morning brew. That's where Life Boost Coffee comes in. It's the only doctor-backed coffee that's pure, safe, and packed with flavor. Life Boost Coffee Trust Pure process screens for over 450 toxins, so you're getting a clean, low-acid coffee that's gentle on your stomach. Their beans are USDA certified organic, single origin, and grown without pesticides at high altitudes, meaning more antioxidants and a rich, smooth taste. Life Boost also offers a decaf option made with the Swiss water method, so you can enjoy a pure chemical-free decaf that's just as delicious as the original. What really sets Life Boost apart? It's doctor-crafted, trusted by health professionals, and delivers on flavor without the bitterness or acidity found in other coffees. You'll taste and feel the difference with every sip. Visit lifeboostcoffee.com/fitfamily and use code FITFAMILY10 for 10% off your order. That's lifeboostcoffee.com/fitfamily with code FITFAMILY10 for a healthier coffee experience. Decaf included. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Those are some of the causes. It's basically inflammation, high sugar, poor sleep. All these things are really wrecking the brain health. So now what do we get into? How do we start to fix this? Well, the first thing is I want to go into order of importance. You need to fix your sleep and circadian rhythm. This is like probably the highest order thing. You can do everything else on this list, but if you don't sleep right, you are going to be totally wrecked when it comes to brain fog and clarity of thinking, because that lymphatic system that cleans up your brain overnight is essential. So look at your sleep. Are you waking up feeling refreshed? If the answer to that is no, then you have optimizations to make. And I'm not going to make this a huge video on sleep. We have tons of those in the channel. You can click on our channel icon and go to that and check that out. But a couple key points. Develop a consistent sleep routine. What they find from the research is that if you go to bed and wake up roughly at the same times every day, you get better sleep quality. It's not just the amount of time, it's the quality. 2, decrease the light in your room. Like dramatically decrease the light in your room. I have blackout curtains in my room. If you have little things with little lights like on your TV, or you have an air filter in your room or something like that, put a little bit of electrical black tape on that. Get rid of all the light. A very dark room is great. And then decrease the temperature of your room if you can. We're better at sleeping in cooler temperatures. Cool is what the body wants at night, so that's really helpful. And then get your phone away from your bed. There is like the effects of the non-native EMFs of those microwaves that your phone puts out overnight can disrupt energy production in the brain and sleep. And you just also don't want to have that blue light blasting from your phone late at night that's disrupting your melatonin production. So sleep is essential. And obviously losing weight and getting more fit is going to help with sleep. And people who exercise regularly also sleep better. So this is all a completely synergistic thing. Need to nail sleep first. And sleep's not just about what you do at night. It's also about in the morning, circadian rhythm. Getting outside in the morning, getting direct sunshine in your eyes for 15 minutes triggers this cascade of proper neurochemistry in your brain that releases more serotonin. And guess what serotonin converts to later in the day? Melatonin, which helps regulate your sleep cycle. So this is all a holistic, healthy lifestyle we're getting into. Sleep is essential. Number 2, I need to mention this because I'm such a huge believer in this, and it's really transformed my life, is having some kind of meditation, mindfulness practice, something to regulate stress. Stress is one of the big killers of brain fog. I think a lot of people have this scenario where they're in the throes of their modern life with their work and their family and their responsibilities, and they're feeling foggy, and then they go on vacation and then they feel like clear and happy because they've moved away from some of the normal stressors, because the stress hormone cortisol, when at high levels chronically, actually can shrink the brain matter. It actually shrinks the area of your brain called the hippocampus that's involved with memory formation. So high stress is one of the fastest ways to decrease your brain health. And one of the best ways to actually improve your stress response is to have a mindfulness or meditation practice. So for me personally, I do it in the morning and before I go to bed. At least 5 minutes, but often much longer. I have a little place in my bedroom where I have a meditation chair that I sit down, and now I've been doing it for so long I feel good just to sit down, breathe, get present in my body. Whatever this looks like for you, some kind of mindfulness practice will be very good. And it's actually been shown that people who do meditation and mindfulness practices on a daily basis have better brain health. They actually have bigger brain volume over time. People who meditate in their 50s actually have healthier brains sometimes than people in their 20s. It can increase the neuronal growth. It can increase the density of the neurons in the hippocampus, that memory area. So this is real stuff. You do mindfulness practice, the architecture and structure of your brain can truly change. Highly recommend it. Next thing is aerobic exercise. Aerobic meaning cardio exercise, and I find this fascinating. A lot of people in today's day and age want to do strength training because strength training is probably the fastest way to change your body composition, to build muscle, to increase your metabolism, and all that is great. But aerobic activity, Cardiovascular training is actually what improves your brain health. It's what increases blood flow throughout the body, particularly to the brain, and it stimulates something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. You'll see this a lot if you look into the research. BDNF actually is a signal that causes your brain to grow new neurons. So cardio training, 30-minute workouts, 3 times per week is phenomenal for increasing BDNF. And if you can, breathe through your nose as you're doing cardio, you get more nitric oxide and your body is generally healthier. Now, inside our Fit Father and Fit Mother programs, we kind of like to hack this, and what we do is we combine cardio with strength training, with flexibility into these really effective strength circuits that take 30 to 45 minutes, and we do them a couple days per week. So in a very time-efficient manner, you get the benefits of cardio for your brain health, you get the benefits of strength training, and you only need to invest like 90 minutes of exercise per week to get phenomenal results like the people you see right here on this video. These are our real program members. They're eating healthier, they're doing workouts, they're just getting healthier on all levels. Obviously physical transformations, but cognitive health too, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's about being a fit father and fit mother. That's why I do this work, because I want you to experience this too. Now, next is an anti-inflammatory diet, and this is essential. And I think there's 2 ways to think about an anti-inflammatory diet. Way number 1 is getting rid of the stuff that's pro-inflammatory. And way number 2 is adding in the stuff that's inherently anti-inflammatory. So pro-inflammatory stuff, sugar, number 1. All the added and processed sugars in your life, sodas, candies, processed goods, baked stuff, even just like unhealthy white refined carbohydrates like white breads, crackers, muffins, bagels. This kind of stuff converts to sugar very easily in the body. All that causes inflammation. Unhealthy oils, seed oils, this is a big topic of conversation. So if you look on the label of processed foods, it often has sunflower oil, canola oil, safflower oil, corn oil, let alone vegetable oil, which is a blend of these different kinds of things. These things are inherently inflammatory. They activate this inflammatory cascade. So if you want good brain health and you're putting these into your body at a regular basis, you're kind of screwed from the beginning, because these are basically fires that you're lighting constantly, that your brain is being bathed in this inflammatory environment. The cool thing is if you just shift away from a processed diet to a non-processed natural foods diet, then you're going to be healthy. I like to think about this. This is a new kind of like tagline that's come to me, is like, if God made it, eat it. If man made it, then be very wary what that's like. So whole non-processed foods, we can get away from the diet dogma and just eat fruits and vegetables and meats and fish and eggs and just like single ingredient foods. If you do that, you're pretty much going to be avoiding all the processed sugars. You're going to be avoiding all the seed oils. And look, it is fine to get sugar in fruit. In fact, one of the foods that is best for brain health is blueberries. It has sugar in it, but it has sugar in the concert of fiber, polyphenols, and other stuff we're going to talk about in just a little bit. So don't be afraid of natural sugars in foods, but definitely be wary of seed oils and processed sugars. Those are super inflammatory. Now, when it comes to an anti-inflammatory diet, the best way to think about it is eat a rainbow of foods that have different colors. What we know from nutrition research is there are powerful compounds in plant-based foods called polyphenols. Polyphenols are rich in foods like dark chocolate, like cacao, in all the berries, in colorful fruits and vegetables, in leafy greens, in teas. These polyphenols directly reduce neuroinflammation. They directly increase BDNF to help neurons grow. They increase blood flow to the brain. They decrease oxidative stress in the brain. So eating a colorful diet of lots of fruits and vegetables and different foods is phenomenal. And those plant-based foods also include fiber to feed your good gut bacteria to give you a good gut-brain axis. So you can see how this all comes together. Now, inside our Fit Father and Fit Mother programs, we give you like a step-by-step meal plan. A to Z. We lay out every single meal, breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner with easy recipes. Again, we have a lot of stuff on our channel. If you want to learn more about our philosophy, of course, you can check out our programs as well. I won't do like a deep dive into an anti-inflammatory diet because this would be like an hour-long video. But point being is like there are other great things you can get into your diet to make it healthier. So here are some great brain foods that I am a huge fan of. Cold water fatty fish like sardines or salmon. Those omega-3s are amazing for your brain. Eggs, if you can tolerate them and you don't have any reaction to them, egg yolks, high quality eggs are phenomenal for brain health. They have vitamins A, D, E, and K. They have choline for brain health. Walnuts, a superfood for brain health. I want to really get more people to eat a half a cup of walnuts a day. All the berries are amazing for brain health, and something I use daily is cacao. So it's another great food, rich in polyphenols, great for brain health. And then use more spices in your cooking. Things like ginger, clove, cinnamon, cardamom, thyme, basil, all of these have polyphenols and other compounds that just improve your health. And this is why when we got to the ultra processed kind of foods in today's day and age, we lost the idea of making like home cooked meals that inherently typically have these spices in them that give us great benefits. So anti-inflammatory diet is necessary. Your B vitamins are really necessary too. And most people don't know what B vitamins do. You just know, oh, I should get some B vitamins. Well, basically the summary is B vitamins help your body produce energy, cellular energy, ATP, and your brain needs energy. So if you're getting enough B12, folate, riboflavin, these B vitamins supercharge your brain's ability to produce energy. And the ultra processed foods don't have B vitamins. All the foods we talked about, dark green leafy vegetables, fruits, these things, even like organ meats, these are rich in B vitamins. You want to get those massively. Also, this is a good side note to talk about. I talked about omega-3s, but I want to talk about minerals. We need minerals, and our soils have become so depleted from modern farming practices that an apple today or a squash today has a fraction of the minerals it used to have before we did all this constant monocropping and we just depleted our soils massively. So I personally believe today for optimal brain health, you need to get a mineral supplement. The one I love is from Beam Minerals, BEAM Minerals, because it has a specific kind of minerals called fulvic and humic acids that gives you 70 plus trace minerals. It improves your gut health. It improves your immune system. It directly decreases inflammation. So this is not just the same thing as taking magnesium, which is obviously great for brain health. It's like a concert of these. So you can check out Beam Minerals. There'll be a link in the description. And if you want to actually get that and use that like I do, there's a code FITFAMILY. You can get a discount on Beam Minerals. Now, next thing is creatine monohydrate. There's been a big misconception that this is just a supplement for people who want greater athletic performance and muscle. Creatine is one of your best friends for cognitive health. In fact, what the studies have shown is taking 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate can offset brain fog due to low sleep. And why is that? Because creatine gives your brain more energy. It creates more ATP. And one of the reasons for brain fog in some cases is people don't have enough energy in the brain. We talked about energy insufficiency. So 3 to 5 grams of creatine every single day in the morning is when I take mine, can give your brain more energy. I know it's a staple. It's made a big impact in my life, and it's also safe for your kids as well. In fact, when people have traumatic brain injuries, which is a very acute inflammation, football player, helmets crash, concussion, what's some of the protocols? They give them high dose omega-3s. They give them creatine monohydrate, and they give them an anti-inflammatory diet paired with one of the next things on our list. I don't know if I wrote this, but bioavailable curcumin. So turmeric, curcumin, one of the best natural anti-inflammatories, anti-cancer. I think this is great because you throw some bioavailable curcumin and turmeric in your diet, basically it helps smooth out this whole inflammation picture. And you can definitely cook with turmeric, like a lot of like Indian food, for example, uses that, and that's great. It's not very well absorbed, but it does help your GI tract. If you add some pepper, some black pepper, that can help. But the best option if you really want to get serious about inflammation, decrease whole body inflammation, is to get some bioavailable curcumin. We have an amazing one on our Fit Father and Fit Mother store. You can click below. It is like top of the line, way better than the stuff you find on Amazon, super bioavailable. I take this, it helps my whole body feel better, and I control inflammation. And my final supplement I have for you that I absolutely love and believe in is lion's mane mushroom. And mushrooms are really powerful compounds. We're going to see more supplements have those, but lion's mane is my personal favorite because it has extracts that improve and increase something called neuronal growth factor, NGF. And that basically helps you build brain cells. It's really amazing. So you take lion's mane, I put it in my morning cacao drink. I have the cacao for all the polyphenols and magnesium. I add a scoop of lion's mane in there, which is around 1,000 milligrams, and I'm just supercharging my brain health. I absolutely love it. I had it before I shot this video. You can tell I'm very keyed up and passionate about this subject. Lion's mane helps with that. Now, the scam with these mushroom supplements is a lot of these companies use the cheap part of the mushrooms. They don't use the fruiting body, like the part we actually think of as the mushroom, that is the mushroom head itself, that's the fruiting body. A lot of these companies use the actual mushroom mycelial network, which is grown on oats. And when it comes to things like lion's mane, you want the fruiting body. So if you buy a supplement, it must say fruiting body extract in this case, not the myceliated oats. That's kind of like the cheaper filler version of this. So big video here. There's a lot more I could have talked about, like with anti-inflammatory diet. Fasting, for example, is a very powerful way to give you greater mental clarity because it improves your glycemic response. It also improves, the neuronal growth factors and all this. I just didn't want to make this like a full hour, but I wanted to give you a real deep dive on some of the causes. And the fact is, if we really break this down to the basics, this is a healthy lifestyle. This is regular exercise. This is a healthy diet. This is good sleep hygiene. This is good mindfulness practice. And all this basically controls these fundamental pathways of inflammation, blood sugar regulation, good blood flow. This is the secret to longevity. You get these basics mastered. And I think we can all sit here and study this stuff and make an intellectual discussion on what we should do, but all that matters is where the rubber meets the road for you. How do you gain traction with this stuff in a lifestyle that actually is sustainable, one that helps you feel energized and motivated and keeps you on track long term? This is why I'm here and doing this work, because I want to help you as a busy parent get traction on this stuff. And the best way I can do that is inside my Fit Father and Fit Mother programs. We laid everything out step by step: nutrition, mindset, exercise, accountability, supportive community. So if you want to get to the next level of your health, if you want to get greater traction in your routine, if you want to feel like you're overwhelmed and you just want a simplified plan to follow, then check out our links in our description. We have amazing life-changing programs, as you've probably seen on our channel. And if you're just enjoying this and you like the richness of this content, some of these whiteboard style videos where I do deeper dive teaching, let me know in the comments below. I will do more of these, and also hit thumbs up, because this will help spread it to more people. Because right now there are millions of people scrolling YouTube, depleting their dopamine receptors and missing out on sleep, but this is actually the helpful stuff that we can get and implement into our routines. Thank you for sticking with me on this video. I hope you found this very useful and valuable. If you want to continue the discussion in the comments, my team and I will be there. We'd love to chat with you, and we hope you check out our programs and join us inside the Fit Father and Fit Mother communities. Dr. Anthony Balduzzi signing off. Keep your brain healthy, and I'll see you very soon.
Dude, just like all